What's up? Welcome back to J Stewart Garage, everybody. So yeah, the past couple days I've kind of just, my focus in the shop has just been cleaning up, making space. I have a big pile of junk that I need to take to the dump, and I'm still in the process of cleaning. I'm probably not even halfway done. So yeah, today I'm going to take a break from that because we had a part come in this box. We got our engine on a stand. So yeah, in here, I haven't even opened it up yet. I'll open it up with you guys. Should be our oil pan, just the eBay one, nothing fancy. It's supposed to come with the windage tray, the pickup tube and everything. So I think just for mock-up purpose, because I'm gonna have to pull the pan back off, and then because I'm gonna do bearings and everything in the bottom end. Since I'm boosting it, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of refresh everything. So I'll literally just pull all that apart and just put the pan itself on there. Just set it in there, and hopefully I'll be able to by myself be able to get this mocked up, and we'll be able to see if everything's gonna clear. So yeah, let me set up the tripod and we'll open up this oil pan and check it out. As you saw, we got it all unboxed. Here she is. Nothing fancy, nothing over the top. You know, it does have a few nicks here and there. Nothing that I think is going to affect the durability or longevity of it. I think it'll do just fine for what we're doing and what we need. The only thing I'm going to have to look into is oil feed and return for the turbo, where to get those. So yeah, that's research for another day. Today the plan is hopefully get this thing set in there and see if our turbo is going to fit before we go drilling, tapping, anything like that. So yeah, plan now, we'll go ahead and pop the pan off of there. We'll just spin it over on the engines. We'll drain the oil, spin it over on the engine stand, pop the pan off, bolt this one on, bolt our mounts on, see what we can do. So yeah, I'm going to try and throw up a time lapse so you guys see me pull it out and get everything switched around. So my damn camera fell off the tripod like midway through the oil pan and pickup tube, windage tray removal and everything. So I got part of it, but yeah, I got everything off. It's not too bad in here. I mean, a little sludgy like normal, but yeah, the cam's got a little wear, nothing crazy. And then like all the cylinders that you can see are pretty good. I don't know if you guys can see that one or not. I can. That one's up. But you can see it's got pretty good. You can really see it in that one. The honing, oh, my light's kind of killing you guys. The honing's still really good. So I think we could have just ran it as is, but being as we're going to boost it, I think we'll go ahead and do bearings, main bearings, rings. I'll probably just reuse those pistons and just re-ring them and, you know, gap them for being boosted and all that good stuff. So I'm going to slam our new pan on, and I'm not going to put the windage trim on that end because we're going to be right back in this bottom end. I simply just want to see if everything's going to fit right before I get back in this bottom end. And I gap everything for boost and get a boost cam and everything, and then, oh shit, you know, the turbo kit won't work. So, you know, the turbo kit was kind of just one of them things. It was cheap. If it works, awesome. I'll put a boost cam in it, gap the rings for boost. If not, I'll just go with the original plan, NA, you know, stage 3 or 4 Brian Tooley NA cam. And so yeah, we're just gonna put the pan on and just make sure it fits. That's That's today's goal. We just want to get it in, put our headers on, and try, and it's going to be a pain by myself. Hopefully I can get a friend to stop by and we can mock up the crossover tube with the turbo. So yeah, let's see how it goes. So I couldn't get anyone to come help me set the engine in, so I kind of skipped ahead and didn't film anything because it was a struggle by myself. So I got it set in. It may not be perfect, but it's close enough for what we're doing. I'm keeping a little tension on it just so it don't sag down too much. Well, my battery died. It was at 60% and it decided it was dead enough to shut the camera off. Typical GoPro. So yeah, I got the motor set in. It was a pain by myself. I couldn't get anyone over here to help me, so I just kind of winged it, set it in. May not be perfect, may not be dead square, but it's good enough I can put the headers on and see if they're going to work and go from there, because that'll decide what we're going to do engine wise. So let me set up the camera somewhere and we'll see if we can't get a header or two on. Cross our fingers, hopefully it works out. If not, I guess we're going NA. I just don't think it's worth the headache. I think if we're going to go turbo, we might as well just do the eBay T4 manifolds, where it puts one T4 flange on the passenger side. It's oh well, I'll pull it back out, and more than likely we're going to go NA. After some research and digging around between me and a buddy of mine, I believe the kit is for 98 to 02 Camaro, Trans Am, Firebird, etc. So yeah, definitely ain't gonna fit this S10. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna look around on some of the Facebook pages and stuff for the S10s and see what are other guys running, and I'm gonna try and sell this kit, get my money back, see what other guys are running, and if there's a chance, you know what I mean, that I can sell this kit, buy the stuff and it work out. We're gonna shoot to do that. If not, we'll just be going NA. So we'll see where it goes. I guess I'll continue this video tomorrow with lowering the rear end. So yeah, kind of sucks, but it's the name of the game. You don't know till you put it in. So grab some B-roll and move on to the next topic, which is, I think, it's going to be lowering the rear end. I think that's the next step of stuff we can do with the parts that we have while we figure out our game plan with this whole turbo NA idea. What's up, guys? So with the situation with the S10, it kind of left me like, what the hell do I do now? Because to be honest, I kind of had all my eggs in that turbo kit basket, and my next content was lined up to be turbo stuff, you know, pulling it apart, new bearings in the bottom end, new rings, gap them for boost, turbo cam, and the turbo kit didn't work out. So yeah, I don't want to fork out the money for all that turbo stuff until I can move this kit and recoup my money and reinvest that into the right stuff. So it left me thinking, what the hell do I do? So I spent a couple days cleaning the shop. Now I've been springtime, so I've been super busy with work. So, you know, my spare time I've been cleaning the shop and stuff, and I figured I might as well get back on this truck. So we're gonna clean up this axle, I have the chassis saver, just like I used on here, up in the house because it has to stay like 50 degrees supposedly. So it's up there. So we're gonna get the axle prepped throughout the week, and hopefully this weekend it'll be warm and we can paint it. So yeah, that's my plan right now. And plans with this truck kind of changed. I mean, depending, a deal came up that is kind of like a crazy deal, and it ain't a marketplace deal or anything like that. It's through a friend who found it, and it's anyway. I might just put this truck back rolling. It still has a motor, still has a transmission. It's got a ZF6 Kentucky clutch, and I believe Kentucky Slave. I can't remember exactly. And then it's a studded motor. It's supposed to have dropped the lifter. I haven't tore into it that far. It had a barter stage 3. I pulled off and sold, and they have 155/30s that I pulled out and put on the shelf. And one of those injectors, when I pulled them out, was missing the bottom O-ring. So what looked like a lifter dropping with all the smoke and everything dumping out and the crazy misfire could have been that, but I'm not 100%. And anyway, so I might put this back rolling, and we have shelf after shelf over there of extra parts for this. New Bilstein shocks, all new bushings for the rear, everything you can think of to complete the whole back half of this truck. I have a brand new spare tire mount. I mean, every nut and bolt on the back of this was going to be new. A lot of that I can keep and put on my other truck. So what I'm thinking is I've relocated the shackle mounts up front to run the 2016 style leaf springs. I'm thinking put that on, because I'm not going through that headache of putting that stuff on another truck. It is what it is. $400 out the window. Let it go with this truck. Put the axle in. Keep my shocks. That's a few $100s that I can put on one of my other trucks for, that I wasn't planning on putting on them, but I have them, you know what I mean? And it's for what I'm going to get for this truck in the condition. I might as well not send it out with all the good parts. And like, I have a Mag high-tech rear cover and full e-brake assemblies, everything to rebuild the rear axle. I'm thinking put the diff back in the painted axle and call it a day. I don't think anybody will ever have any issues out of the rear end like that. I'm thinking put it in, put some fluid in it, call it a day. None of the bearings were bad, none of the seals were bad. The only thing I pulled out is the axle shafts and the differential itself. So I think it'll be fine. I was gonna rebuild it just because I was already this far into the truck, but I paid like $1,200 or $1,300 for all those parts, and that's $1,200 or $1,300 I would send out the window, plus hours of time putting it in this axle. And even if I listed in the ad rebuild axle, everybody's gonna be like, okay, whatever. So I might as well keep the parts for something I put together for my peace of mind in one of my vehicles. So yeah, I'm gonna try and set up maybe a time lapse or something. This is gonna be boring. My tools of attack this evening, I don't have a ton of time. I want to do a little testing. I got the little Milwaukee die grinder. I got the little snap-on one. And I have this little Milwaukee sander thing. Last time I used a wire wheel, and it does okay, but I don't know. I figured I have a little time to kill this evening. Let's try this stuff. So let's see how it goes. I just wanted to pop in real quick and say I've never used this little sander before. It's the Milwaukee M12 sander. I got it from a friend of mine. This little thing rips. It's really good for like the little nooks and crannies. I wanted to pop in and say, always wear your safety glasses, for one, and number two, with the chassis saver stuff, I went a little crazy on the frame. Mainly my focus was here to here. I mean, I sanded that and got it as smooth as a damn fender you're getting ready to paint, because I thought any part of this frame you're going to see is going to be through the wheel well, unless I have it on a lift and you're helping me work on it. But yeah, so I'm not necessarily worried about the rust because the chassis saver paint encapsulates rust. So it's obviously it's better to get the rust off, but I'm just knocking off the real thick stuff. Just the real thick, like I'm just knocking the thick stuff off, trying to smooth it up some. The main thing I'm concerned about with this, because this had 2 or 3 layers of somebody undercoated it, and it was, I mean, I couldn't even tell you how many hours I have, and just I would heat gun it, scrape it, wire wheel it. I used those 3M black paint remover. I mean, I went through probably 20, 30 grinding wheels, and them 3M rust remover wheels, I couldn't even tell you how many die grinder blades I use, how many wire wheels. I just, every time I was in Harbor Freight, I loaded up on them because I was burning through them like crazy. So my concern with the axle is it has what I believe is the factory paint. I don't know how well that chassis saver stuff's going to stick to it, so I'm trying to get the majority of that off. Like you can see here, obviously down in some of the grooves in the texture, I didn't get it 110%, but I think that'll be okay. So I'm just trying to get, let's say 90% of it. You know, I'm just trying to get the bulk, and the rest of it, I think it'll stick to it okay. I just don't want to risk it, because even if I don't keep the truck, I don't want to sell it to somebody and then them drive it for 6 months and the paint flake off. Like, it's kind of a bad look. So yeah, I'm gonna try and do my best to do it right and do it nice, even though the truck may be leaving. And guys, I wouldn't get rid of the truck if I didn't have to. So the property here, I've had problems with the county. They'll come out, and welcome to Maryland, that everybody's business is your business. They come out and they tell me I have too many untagged vehicles, too many this, too many that. I need to get rid of it, blah, blah, blah. So I'm trying to keep my vehicles limited. Even the customer cars and stuff, I try and only have 1 or 2 at a time. You know, I don't go buck wild. I try and get them in and get them out and keep rotating. And even the part out stuff, I try 1 or 2 at a time, rotate them. And you know, I try and do like 2 customer cars, 2 part outs, and then my personal stuff. All of my untagged stuff is in the shop right now, so I'm good. But like, I have my Harley edition truck, which I'll have to put that in a video going over that. That's a pretty cool truck. I have my gray 6-liter that's got a S467 on it. I have my plow truck. I have the dump truck. I mean, my gooseneck trailer. I have 2 other trailers. So if this other deal works out, something's got to go. And out of all the vehicles, I already have so much money wrapped up in the Harley edition. It's a really good truck. The gray truck, that was my first diesel. I'd like to hang on to it forever. The other trucks, like the dump truck, you know, its sentimental value was my grandfather's and stuff like that. So out of all my vehicles, I think this is the only one that I really have no attachment to. Yeah, it's cool. It's a ZF6. But at the end of the day, it's going to be expensive, but I can track another one down. So I think business-wise and hopefully YouTube-wise, this other deal will help me out some. So, you know, I'm not 100% on that yet, but we'll see what happens. I'm not gonna bore you guys with 20 minutes of me time-lapse wire wheeling this. So yeah, I'm gonna spend the next hopefully next evening or two, hopefully, and knock this wire wheeling out, and as soon as the weather gets warm enough, we'll paint it. So yeah, I guess I'll see how long. I think this video is long enough that I'll probably paint it in the next one. So here's where we're at right now. There's like no rust underneath that. I mean, every now and then underneath of that paint. So it's just going right down to bare metal. So by the time I leave it down here tonight and the moisture gets on it, it's gonna rust again. So what we'll do is we'll come in when we go to paint, knock any of the overnight rust off, paint it, do a couple layers of that, and call it a day. Let it cure a couple days, bolt her in. So hopefully the next you see me, we're painting this, getting it put in the truck, and hopefully soon this turbo kit gets going and I can use that money and order the stuff we need. And I'd really like to stick with turbo on it, so hopefully there will only be 1 or 2 videos in between getting some more work done on that. I imagine most of you guys, as small as the channel is, I imagine most of you guys are here for that. So yeah, we'll see. We'll just have to see how that goes, because I don't want to dump a bunch of money and have just as much money in parts I can't use as parts I can use. So I'm trying to, that's what happened with this truck. I have a whole set of doors, I have a whole interior, I have half a sea container full of parts for this truck, and I still have all the parts on this truck already. So it's, things can go overboard very, very fast. So I'm trying to keep that to a minimum on this truck, because the same thing has happened with all my trucks. I end up with damn shelves full of parts, stuff in the sea container, stuff in all the different sheds. So I'm trying to minimize that with this one and keep it that way so I can keep doing cool, exciting builds on the channel, and not have it take very long. You know, be able to have the funding to just keep going, keep going. So yeah, I want to get rid of the old turbo stuff and a couple of the other extra stuff I've acquired for the S10 and use that money to get the stuff we truly need to get it where I want it. So yeah, hopefully all that happens soon, because I'd like to have it down at Cruise Week. You know, I'd like to do a video down at Cruise Week of me cruising it around and taking it over to the show and everything. So we'll see what happens. I really appreciate you guys sticking with me, and believe me, if you're upset about the turbo kit not working, I'm twice as mad as you are. So hopefully we get all that straight within the next video or 2 behind the scenes. I'm working on getting that figured out. So until then, you're stuck with some junk Ford 6-liter content, which I like 6 liters. I have 3 of them. Some people won't. You know, I'm sure the S10 guys that are watching are probably diehard Chevy guys, so this stuff, they're going to scroll on to the next one. And I'm not brand specific. I have Ford, Chevy, Dodge. I got a BMW out there. I don't care. They're all junk to me. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please come back for more. Like, comment, subscribe. You know, help boost it with the algorithm, get it out to more people. So yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you.